Hey guys, welcome back. So in this episode, we're going to be taking a deep dive into ZoomInfo, ticker symbol ZI. ZoomInfo, not to be confused with the video conferencing app Zoom, IPO'd late last year in June and has done pretty well for itself compared to other notable tech IPOs such as Snowflake or C3.ai, which are actually trading lower than its opening price as of today. Now on June 4th, 2020, ZoomInfo came to the public market on the NASDAQ and was actually one of the largest tech initial public offerings of the past decade. Now ZoomInfo is a global leader in go-to-market intelligence solutions. Now to put it simply, it's a subscription-based software as a service that sells access of its database of information about business people and companies to sales, marketing, and recruiting professionals. Now I've been tracking ZoomInfo ever since it IPO'd, and for the past 3 quarters, they've exceeded expectations and they've been showing really strong financial momentum. So let's take a deep dive into ZoomInfo and see if it can continue its success moving forward. So let's first go over some of the key metrics. So with their business model, they have an estimated TAM of over $30 billion. They have over 100 million contract record events daily, which build up their network effects. And they're seeing over 10 times lifetime value to cost per acquisition cost and a 108% net revenue retention rate. Now their Q4 2020 annualized revenue was $560 million, which translated to 53% year-over-year growth in the last quarter. They have over 850 customers that spend over $100,000 and is seeing 45% profitability in their adjusted operating income margin. So now let's talk about the problem that they're trying to solve. Now, sales and marketing is still inefficient. Sales reps need critical questions answered before they can sell. And only 1/3 of the sales rep's day is actually spent selling. 1/3 is admin and other, and the second is gathering and entering data. Now, ZoomInfo's solution is this go-to-market intelligence system. They provide a comprehensive 360-degree view on over 95 million companies and over 124 million professionals. Their platform enables their customers to do anything from identify target customers to get direct contact information, rank the best targets, and the list goes on. Their platform provides online access to go-to-market intelligence. And they also have key integrations that fuel their customers' sales and marketing systems and programs, with partnerships with Salesforce, HubSpot, Marketo, Oracle Sales Cloud, and Microsoft Dynamics. So taking a more granular look at their intelligence engine, they have diverse data sourcing, which feeds evidence-based machine learning algorithms. They gather data from their 4 categories of sources, from contributing networks, unstructured public information, data training labs, and generally available information. From this point, they gather a wide variety of intelligence on companies and business professionals, and their intelligence engine brings together processes and verifies and publishes intelligence. Now, as businesses continue to evolve, they realize that they have evolving customer needs for a system of insights. With a typical customer relationship management software, it's inaccurate or outdated, there's incomplete customer data, no prospect data, or no insights at all. What ZoomInfo is proposing is accurate and real-time updates to identify and rank purpose, a 360-degree view of the customer, and intent signals. Now, this intelligence cloud feeds right up into the management with a system of records and applications. From this point on, it realizes go-to-market recommendations, which translates to action with go-to-market execution. Now, the exciting thing about ZoomInfo is that they're still in the early innings of this huge 30 billion plus opportunity. Now, they're still currently in this phase of acquiring new customers and incremental penetration within enterprises, which is currently a $1 billion opportunity within existing enterprise customers. However, they believe through adding additional high-value solutions to existing customers, adjacent use cases such as recruiting, expanding to international markets, and by doing select acquisitions to complement their platform, they can continue to grow and scale to capture a large part of this opportunity. Now, ZoomInfo is a fairly large company. They currently sit at an $18 billion market cap. So we know that they have many notable companies and partners within their ecosystem. They have recent new and expansion customers and more than 20,000 customers from small, mid-sized, and larger organizations across a diverse set of industries. So instead of trying to just explain it all, why don't we take a look at one of their customer case studies, which will give us a much better idea of the kind of benefits and value that it translates for its customers. Now, one of their customers is Symbol.ai. And Symbol.ai increases sales productivity with ZoomInfo to accelerate TAM expansion. Now, Symbol.ai used ZoomInfo robust database to identify and target new personas. On top of that, real-time insights, including org charts, scoops, and technology data, maximize the effectiveness of each touchpoint, leading to better sales conversions and ultimately more closed-won businesses. What this translated to is a 50% increase in sales productivity, 50% increase in demos scheduled, and a 4 times increase in speed to reach key decision makers. Now let's dive more into their financials and look at their most recent quarter in Q4 and for the full year of 2020. Now the fourth quarter was a strong finish to the year as it delivered 53% revenue growth and adjusted operating income margin of 45%. They signed a record number of new customers and ended the year with a record number of customers with over $100,000 in ACV. Now, ZoomInfo actually gave 2021 guidance, and they're projecting from $645 to $655 million in total revenue, and $280 to $295 million in adjusted operating income. Now, just for Q4 of 2020, they saw around $140 million of total revenue, which is a 53% year-over-year increase, an operating income of around $30 million, which is a 54% year-over-year increase. These are very healthy growth rates, and it's great to see that they're continuing to execute on both their top line and on their bottom line. What stands out to me is their cash flow from operations is around $67 million, which is almost a 300% increase year over year. Now, moving along to the full year of 2020, they saw $476 million, which is a 62% year-over-year increase. Their operating income is around $37 million, which is only a 3% increase, so it's definitely not growing as fast as its revenue. But the cash flow from operations is actually $170 million, which is around 282% year-over-year. Now, ZoomInfo is seeing very steady but robust revenue growth quarter over quarter, which is really great to see. But not only that, they're seeing healthy adjusted operating income and margin growth. Q4 of 2020, they saw around 45% adjusted operating income margin, which is a 34% year-over-year growth in their adjusted operating income. Now for the unlevered free cash flow, which is all the cash left after all the operating expenses are taken out and is available to all shareholders, they're seeing 121% of unlevered free cash flow conversion with a 55% margin. So it's clear to see that they're seeing very strong financial momentum, and they've been really executing within the past few years. Now, as for the balance sheet, last year, as of December 31st, 2019, they had around $42 million in cash and cash equivalents. However, as of this year in December, they had around $300 million. Now, ZoomInfo, before going to the public market, was actually taking on quite a bit of debt. So they had around $1.2 billion of total outstanding in debt. However, over the past year, they've actually been able to pay off around $500 million of that, so they currently only have around $756 million in debt. And lastly, it's good to see that their net leverage ratio went down from around 6.7 times all the way down to around 2 times. And lastly, for the guidance for Q1 2021, as well as for the whole year, for the next quarter, they're expecting from 144 to 146 million. With adjusted operating income of around $61 to $63 million. This translates to around 10 to 11 cents for adjusted net income per share. And to me, the key standout for this next quarter is that for the top line revenue, they're seeing pretty decelerating growth. Last quarter, they saw around 139 million, and currently they're trading around the midpoint of $145 million. So that's definitely a concern of mine of why they're seeing drastically slowing revenue growth. However, for the adjusted operating income, it's a growth of around $30 million to around $60 million. So it's seeing around a 100% growth in their profit, which is a good sign. Last year, they did around $475 million in total revenue, and this year they're guiding around $650 million in total revenue. So it's still seeing a pretty strong revenue growth of around 40 to 50%. So that's something that I really like to see with this company. ZoomInfo is a company whose offerings really resonate with enterprises as a way to improve the productivity of go-to-market efforts. Its offering is far beyond providing a simple list of prospects to users, and its growth going forward will be tied to its success in persuading clients to use its own capabilities in areas such as workflow management, targeting, and recruiting. The company has certainly enjoyed success in this strategy, although it's still in its early stages. There's nothing low-tech in the ability this company has to integrate, target, and facilitate sales automation. The unwillingness of some commenters and investors to consider a forecast based on looking at historical trends in terms of quarterly revenue progression provides opportunities. This company probably has the highest score in the software space in terms of the Rule of 40 calculation, and its visibility seems to be at record levels. The Rule of 40 is a common metric used by private equity investors to measure the performance of SaaS companies. Measuring the trade-off between profitability and growth, the Rule of 40 asserts that a successful SaaS company's growth rate and profit margin should add up to more than 40. My belief is that the service that's sold by ZoomInfo is a service that provides effective solutions for the pain points of many sales and marketing executives. In this case, the benefits that the company provides to its users are exceptionally compelling. The vision and the reality coincide. So at its current valuation of around $18 billion, ZoomInfo is currently trading at a forward PE of 100 and a price to sales at 24. Now these are very lofty valuations, and there's a lot of optimism already priced into this stock. And for good reason, because they're a high margin SaaS business which is seeing amazing demand in the current market and has consistently beat its own expectations over the past 3 quarters. I believe the best way of valuing this company is not at its current valuation today, but it's looking out 3 to 5 years, and whether or not we can see ZoomInfo growing into a $50 or $100 billion market cap. ZoomInfo has everything going right behind it. It's growing rapidly in a fast-growing industry in a big total addressable market, and they've continued to execute on their growth plans by not only further developing their product, but also launching into new verticals and gaining many more partnerships and customers. I believe even with its lofty valuation today, ZoomInfo serves to be a solid long-term buy as its business continues to scale and they continue to realize value for a lot of their customers. So with that, guys, that was my breakdown of ZoomInfo. If you guys got any value out of this, don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, hit that subscribe button, and if you're listening to this on the pod, don't forget to leave me a 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. With that, guys, thanks as always, and as the saying always goes, let's go get that bag.